That largely will be the center of the focus as you've conducted top of the agenda of what the president is expected to speak about this afternoon. But of course, in the midst of the ongoing rains, the El Nino rains, there's a general expectation that the president will come up with solutions, and particularly activate the disaster response plan for Northeastern Province, or the former Northeastern Province, because Wajir, Garissa and Mandera, some of those places have absolutely been marooned by the ongoing floods. But of course, now it's a matter of minutes. We await the arrival of the president. For now, back to your studio.
Where he announced the vision of various rates of government services, where if you have lost...
Very well, the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has just arrived at Parliament buildings. Remember, it's a bicameral parliament, meaning that both the MPs and the senators are already inside the building, and any moment now we expect the head of state to be making his way to Parliament. But before he enters Parliament, as you can see there, the Kenya Defence Forces have mounted a guard of honor, which they expect the head of state will be inspecting before he makes his way inside of Parliament. And as all Kenyans, including me, are waiting and eagerly waiting for his speech, we are expecting that the head of state will touch on the scorecard of the Kenya Kwanza government in the last 1 year. A number of things that we are also expecting the head of state to be touching on is the foreign policy. We have seen him in a number of trips. We have seen a number of MPs, a number of prime ministers, a number of envoys come to the country to ensure that. But first things first, let's first of all cross over to Parliament. We are expecting also, we will be reaching out to our editor Edward Kabasa, who is also at Parliament building together with the Bunga team, and also Abdiaziz are also keeping tabs with what is transpiring there. But I can tell you that the MPs and the senators are already seated. Maybe the last ones are already making their way to the National Assembly, where we expect the head of state is going to be making his State of the Nation address, his first, his inaugural. And you do remember that a couple of years back, when we had already promulgated our constitution in 2010 and started actually using it, President Mwai Kibaki had a scorecard which majorly touched on matters devolution, because we were just setting up counties. When President Uhuru came in, he was the first person actually to start the counties in 2013, which was also a milestone. Now we are with the President William Ruto, who will be expecting to make a State of the Nation address amid a myriad of challenges in the country, including the implementation of the Kenya Kwanza manifesto, the cost of living, the floods that are currently ravaging many parts of the country, and also we expect a number of clarifications in regards to a number of issues of who we expect the head of state will also be making. Let me now hand over to my colleague Edward Kabasa live in Parliament.
Out four. Teke hakuwa naona kitu. Out four haraka.
Address a joint sitting of Parliament which comprises the members of the National Assembly and the members of the Senate. This is going to be the second address by the head of state, President William Ruto. The first time he addressed this house was on 29th of September 2022 when he was opening special broadcast is brought to you by the Parliamentary Broadcasting Unit in conjunction with the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. My name is Edward Kabasa. I invite you to this live broadcast, which is also available on YouTube, courtesy of the Parliament of Kenya YouTube channel. That means you can watch this address on the go this afternoon, the 9th of November 2023. The State of the Nation address is delivered in accordance with Article 132, Article 1 of the Constitution, which provides for the President to address a special sitting of Parliament once every year and may address Parliament at any other time. Once every year, the President is also expected to report in an address to the nation on all the measures taken and the progress achieved in the realization of the national values referred to in Article 10, and to publish in the Gazette the details of the measures and progress under sub-paragraph. The head of state is further expected to submit a report for debate to the National Assembly on the progress made in fulfilling the international obligations of the Republic. Addressed this Honorable House was on 29th of September 2022, and in that address he promised to implement the bottom-up economic agenda to create jobs and empower small businesses. The President also pledged to achieve the universal health coverage. In that address, the President also pledged to connect all Kenyans to the internet by 2030. These were promises that the head of state were making to the country.
Excellency, Guard of Honor, mounted by 23 Mechanized Infantry Battalion, Kenya Army, present are ready for inspection.
Welcome to Parliament. We should not fight. We are the same speaker.
Excellent. Very well, thank you.
Kiongozi, how are you? Kiongozi, habari? Uko salama? Thank you very much. Sorry about the other day. Yeah. I went minority. How are you? Boni, habari yako? Uko salama? Mohamed, habari yako? Uko salama? Nyegenya, habari? Very good. Njoroge, how are you? Salama? Habari yako mungwana? You well? Hello, madam. Habari yako? Where I'm supposed to be in front. Can't go there. We're going straight to the lodge.
Which have been asked by Kenyans through their representatives in both houses. The president also did commit during his last address to this house to restore the place of parliament in Kenya's democracy by respecting the autonomy and oversight authority of parliament on the executive. There on your screen is Kakamega Senator Boni Khalwale making his way into the chamber, and a number of senators are now walking in. To the left, just on the aisle, is the Deputy Speaker of the Senate, who also is the Meru County Senator, walking into the National Assembly chambers to take his seat. There is the nominated Senator This special sitting of Parliament was communicated both by the Speaker of the Senate and the Speaker of the National Assembly, and the President is expected to address it any moment now. When he last addressed Parliament, the President pledged to scale up productivity in agriculture and make sure that every Kenyan farmer, fisherman and pastoralist contributes to sustainable economic growth by contributing to adequate and affordable food. He also did pledge to allocate 50 billion shillings every year to the Hustlers Fund, from which micro, small and medium enterprises would access affordable credit to start and expand their businesses. The president said that there was tremendous opportunity for Parliament to fully take up its role in resolving the systemic issues that limit access to affordable homes and affordable financing. He did call Parliament to be at the center of ensuring that Kenyans have access to affordable homes, and perhaps that is another topic that the head of state might revisit, so that he updates the country on what has been done so far to ensure that Kenyans have access to affordable living. We have seen the launching of affordable housing projects today. The president was in Ruto to inspect such a project, and he has on many occasions talked about the need for Kenyans to afford decent living, and Kenyans are already contributing to that every month. There are some deductions that are going towards the affordable housing. The president, when he last addressed Parliament on 29th of September, did speak about electricity, that the government shall facilitate the development of innovative and effective modalities to provide better off-grid systems, including enabling consumers to form small cooperatives for that purpose. We may perhaps revisit this and update the country on what has been done so far. And it is not just about infrastructural development. The president will head of state. It is expected to address his speech this afternoon to this joint sitting of Parliament. In his previous address, he did speak about health, where he said that Kenya is bound by duty to take measures to make universal health coverage a reality and liberate Kenyans and their families from the threat harrowing poverty that stalks them every time a family member falls seriously ill. In the plan, then, he said that through the support of Parliament and through the support of all Kenyans, the government will restructure the primary healthcare system so that it puts more resources into promotive, preventive, and early diagnosis of diseases. That is one of the agendas of the Kenya Kwanza administration, and we did see a number of steps being taken both by the executive as well as Parliament to ensure that this is achieved, the universal health coverage is achieved in the country. When he also addressed Parliament last time, he did talk about the realization of the National Health Insurance Fund, whose restructuring is not only necessary for efficiency but also enables it become a fit-for-purpose social insurance scheme that caters for all, including chronic diseases. An update of that, of course, Kenyans are expecting this afternoon. The president also did address issues to do with digital technologies, which he said have become a critical player in economic growth. And what we have seen, what Kenyans have seen in the last couple of months is the steps which are being taken by the president, of course, through the cabinet secretary for information, communication, and the digital highway, digital economy, I beg your pardon, to ensure that the country is connected digitally. The president promised to capitalize on existing technology and innovation in public and private sector to distribute the Hustler Fund as promised in the Kenya Kwanza Manifesto. And he did call upon financial institutions and Kenya's young generation in innovation hubs to participate in the digital economy by redesigning their products to serve the goal of empowering millions armed with grand ideas and are only waiting for the fund to finance their dreams to reality. So Kenyans are expecting the head of state to announce the steps being taken to ensure that this is achieved. The State of the Nation address will begin anytime now, but the president is within the precincts of Parliament, and he will be making his way into the chambers, accompanied by the Speaker of the Senate and the Speaker of the National Assembly, that is Honorable Moses Wetangula and Honorable Amason Kingi, respectively. They will be leading, and they will be accompanying the head of state as he makes his way into the chamber to address this joint sitting and, of course, to address the nation at large. This is the State of the Nation address, and it takes place at least once or twice in a year, and it is an address that is being awaited with bated breath. Kenyans want the head of state to update them on what is being done to ensure that issues to do with the cost of living are addressed. There is some activity at the door. The members who are still within the precincts of Parliament are making their way into the chambers, and any moment now we do expect the head of state, accompanied by the speakers of Parliament, to walk into the chambers to allow this process to take place. Now, there will be a prayer by the Speaker of the Senate, and then there will be convocation by the Speaker of the Senate and by the Speaker of the National Assembly. The Speaker of the National Assembly will invite His Excellency the President to make his address. After the head of state will address the House, and after that there will be an adjournment by the Speaker of the Senate and by the Speaker of the National Assembly. It is not the first time that this is happening. Kenyans have witnessed such occasions before, and what perhaps will vary is the content of that address. Every year Kenya experiences unique challenges and unique types of progress, and that is what Kenyans are now waiting for, to hear what the head of state has to say regarding the state of this great nation. When he addressed this sitting in 2022, he committed and said that he was determined to ensure that Kenya's tax system is responsive to the needs of the economy. The head of state said that the tax system must be equitable, efficient, and customer friendly. He did say that the economic principles of equitable taxation require that the tax burden reflects ability to pay. He said that this is best achieved by a hierarchy that taxes wealth, consumption, income, and trade in that order of preference. He said that Kenya's tax regime then fell short of that. The president said that the government then was overtaxing trade and undertaxing wealth. He did promise to propose tax measures that begin to move Kenya in the right direction. What is the status of this? Kenyans are perhaps going to be asking those questions and hoping that they will be answered this afternoon when the head of state makes that address. And he also said in his previous address to Parliament that the government will work with the Kenya Revenue Authority on a culture change to make it a people-friendly, customer-centric organization. He was of the view that it should be renamed to the Kenya Revenue Service in line with the proposed transformation. What is the status of that? Kenyans are waiting for the president to address that, perhaps. There on your screen are a number of members seated, and on your screen there is the corridor that is leading to the National Assembly chamber. On the wall on your right are the portraits of the former Speaker of the National Assembly, who is currently the Attorney General, Honorable Justin Muturi, and the far right is the current Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Moses Wetangula. On your screen is the Sergeant at Arms, followed by the maces. That is on the right, the mace of the National Assembly; on the left, the mace of the Senate carried there, and the clerk of the Senate, and followed by the President, accompanied by the Speakers of the National Assembly and the Senate. I will now hand you over for this live broadcast of this special sitting of Parliament. The bicameral House is sitting this afternoon for the State of the Nation address. My name is Edward Kabasa. Enjoy your viewing.
Hiyo imekuwa ni bendi na Rais William Ruto.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, the Right Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly, honorable members, let us pray. Almighty God, we beseech you to behold with abundant favor and blessings us, your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to leadership positions in this republic.